How's it going, folks? Mark from Like Minded Lunatics, and I'm here again with my friend Nishant. Nishant, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for keeping me on the show.
Absolutely. I am excited to have you here for this one. This is one, so we're going to react to Muse's Won't Stand Down.
Yes, sir.
And this came out in 2022.
Yes, exactly. Came out about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
Not too long ago.
And the reason we decided to do this one was because I was looking at it, and you posted on Facebook about it.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Let's just do this one together.
Yes, yeah.
And one of the things we were talking about is Muse has been around since the 90s.
Yeah, they're a band that formed about 1994. They actually started off, and I know this just because by proxy, my girlfriend is a huge Muse fan. Hi, Marissa. So they started off as the Rocket Baby Dolls.
Right.
And, you know, their lineup changed a little bit. They've been a three-piece band since their first album. But their drummer at that time left the band. Their bassist was the drummer, Chris Wolfenstone. But because their bassist left the band, that required him to learn bass. So as a result, you know, Dominique came on as drums, and then Matt Bellamy's just been doing his thing. But the great thing about this, and I've always been saying this with a lot of metal people or rock people, is that if they know music or music theory, that always lends itself in. So Muse has created about 8 albums so far. This is kind of a teaser to their next album. Their last album, Simulation Theory, you know, it's not my favorite album. It's not my girlfriend's favorite album. We've always been to kind of the earlier albums, Black Holes and Revelations, you know, The Second Law, Resistance, great albums. You know, Muse has always been like this type of anti-establishment type thing. They've always they've always kept the same type of feeling with a lot of their music videos, not just their, you know, not their sounds. You know, the sounds have diverged several times over.
Sure.
But it's always been the anti-establishment, you know, sort of those punk rock vibes, resisting authority, stuff like that. But their music videos have been spectacular.
Well, and that was the thing that I was excited about. And, you know, like I said, they've been around since the 90s. You know a ton about them.
Yeah.
For some reason, I knew nothing about them.
Yeah.
Not even a song title. And that blew my mind when I looked it up. I was like, oh, they had to have been like a new band.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, been around for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. They have a stadium named after Wembley, which is where they play most of their stuff at.
Yeah, and they're from Devon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's do this. I have not seen this one. You have?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I have not. So I'm going to work my way through it, folks. I know it's very cinematic. I'm excited to see it. Muse Won't Stand Down from 2022.
Let's do it.
Yep.
So I kind of set the scene a bit for you. There's a decrepit old man that, you know, is kind of being rolled through an army of people. I'll just kind of go there. And if we kind of stop here, this is a plaster of Matt Bellamy's face.
Oh, it's not his real face.
It's not his real face.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and I could be wrong about this, but the reason why is there's actually a Ukrainian actress behind the mask.
Oh, I see.
But they tried to get Matt Bellamy to play the part, but he either kept on smiling or he kept on fidgeting, so instead they had to kind of plaster his face on a little bit more.
It kept corpsing.
He kept corpsing,
yeah.
So that's why you see a plastered face as a result, you know, instead of Matt Bellamy's regular face.
Gotcha.
Very creepy, by the way.
I never believed that I would concede and let someone trample on me. You strung me along, I thought I was strong, but you were just gaslighting me. I've opened my eyes and counted the lies, and now it is clearer to me. You are just a user and an abuser, living vicariously. I never believed that I would concede and get myself blown asunder. You strung me along, I thought I was strong, but now you have pushed me under.
Now, right off the bat, I'm getting like...
Darth Sidious vibes.
Well, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest vibes. Like, so at the end where they're reprogramming them.
Yeah, so it's like Jack Nicholson type thing.
Well, Malcolm McDonald, I think, was...
yeah.
They've got his eyes peeled back, and they're essentially forcing him to watch what they want him to see.
You're thinking of Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange, yeah, sorry.
Orange,
Yeah. I'm getting those vibes almost immediately.
Yeah.
And also, what was that Terry Gilliam film, too? There was one by Terry Gilliam that was similar to that, too. But I'm getting those vibes.
Okay. Complete opposite of what's going on.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
which is kind of funny. So when they kind of interviewed about the music video, because it's been a while since Muse put out a music video like this, and music like this in general, because their last album was very very 80s synth vibes. Really? We were going to assume that, because of everything going on in the world, because Muse kind of changes their sound based off of what's going on in the world.
Sure.
But at that time, you had Brexit.
Yeah.
A little bit past that, you had COVID-19, a little bit more than that. But you would assume that they're like super angry about everything going on, but because they're super anti-establishment and stuff like that. But complete opposite. They were like 80s synth vibes, feel good vibes. This is a complete departure from that. This is more metal.
Yeah.
This is more darker. It's a different type of vibe, but it harkens back to if Muse aficionados out there, it kind of goes back to their Drones album, where you're kind of rebelling against society when you're initially feeling like this drone. You're going about kind of like the Japanese salaryman, where you're just doing your thing and you're listening to someone else. And eventually you realize that shit's not okay.
Right.
But then yeah. So this kind of goes back to that, and just by being a Muse fan myself, just by proxy, because my girlfriend's a huge Muse fan. We went to a Muse show when they had a rotating stadium, and it was the greatest show that I've ever seen in terms of concerts. But starting out, they had a bunch of people show up in like police uniforms, just like circling the stage.
Right.
And then they had a bunch of different little like floating things in the background, like feeling like drones.
Right.
So that's kind of what the music video is going to be setting the scene for. It's definitely not assimilating someone to doing something, but I'll kind of go from there, and we'll just keep watching.
You are just a user and an abuser, and I refuse to take it. Won't stand down, I'm cold, stronger. Won't stand down, I'm old no longer. Won't stand down, you've used me for too long.
And that's kind of what Matt Bellamy is known for. He's known for directing his own symphonies.
Sure.
So you hear the little symphony in the background.
Yep.
He's known for getting those high falsettos, despite the fact that, he's playing guitar the entire time.
Right.
But he's still going back to, he has that kind of and a lot of people like Kent Vocal Academy, if you follow them on YouTube.
Yep.
They describe the vocal as kind of a whisper, kind of like how George Michael did his stuff. If you listen to Madness by Muse on the Second Law album, it's like, in madness, but he goes like a little bit, higher. So he goes like, so he goes into those high falsettos. But the thing is, like, while he's doing that, he's still playing the guitar the entire time like a metalhead. But that gets, to the inspiration about Muse. Like, they have a huge Queen vibe from them.
Yeah.
But like for this particular type of music video, because it's such a departure from their last album, which was also a departure from their previous albums, this harkens back to their older albums. You hear those down-tuned, like metal-sounding instruments. So for this part, I believe Chris Wolfenstone, the bassist, is actually using a 5-string bass for this part. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But we'll keep digesting it.
Now I'm coming back, a counterattack. I'm playing you at your own game.
Yeah, so if you hear that part in between the bam, bam, that's actually the bass going on.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Hang over your name. I've opened my eyes, I see your disguise. I will never see you the same. I know how to win before you begin. I'll shoot you before you take aim. Now I'm coming back, a counterattack, a psychological war. I'm cutting you in, I'm under your skin. Now I'm gonna settle the score. I've opened my eyes, I see your disguise. I will never see you the same. I know how to win before you begin. I'll shoot you before you take aim.
Yeah, so obviously I was wrong at the very first. Completely opposite, like you said. But what I mean, it is a gorgeously shot video.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've got this puppet master essentially puppeting this entire, brigade of faceless drones.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because when Matt Bellamy was interviewing about the music video, it was like, it's about taking a stand against bullies. Whether it's on the, I guess, like, as he quote, whether it's on the playground or if it's in the park.
Sure.
Or something like that. But if you look at the music video, it's like the decrepit old man is controlling these other people. So I don't know if it's like the oppressed controlling the oppressor now.
And see, to me, I get the sense that it's some shadowy figure controlling all of the other voices.
Yeah.
So like when you look at studies on disinformation on Facebook and Reddit and TikTok and things like that, what you eventually find is that it comes from a very small group of people.
Yeah.
And that they disseminate all of these views, and it just goes through all of these faceless drones.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what it reminds me of, is we have this one malevolent presence that's controlling all of these faceless drones that are essentially puppeting what this one person or thing is doing.
Yeah, kind of harkens back to, this is with everything going on. It's the 13-year-old boy with the computer that's telling everybody what's going on.
That's right. And he thinks that he's making a funny joke meme on 4chan.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's been influenced by some shadowy figure in the background.
Yeah.
To think that his joke meme is just a joke meme, but no, it actually has a political purpose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Another thing I love about Muse, and there's another band that I kind of follow called Royal Blood, is that they make this type of music called driving music. It's like you can tell like when shit like the guitar's just strumming and the drumming's about to happen, but like if you're driving a car.
Yeah.
While you're listening to this, it's like, oh yeah, you want to go fast while you're listening to this.
Right.
You want to have your sunglasses on and you want to just keep listening to this. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we missed this sound with their last album.
Oh.
And we absolutely love it now that this is all going on. But people in the background say like, oh, Muse is going into the metalcore phase.
So is this a return to form, or is this a new phase?
This is sort of a new phase, but also a return to form lyrically, but also kind of stylistically. So, with their last album, which is a Simulation Theory, they had more of an 80s vibe to it, a lot more synth. But Muse is known for their distortioning and all the sounds. So you can hear that with Matt Bellamy, and he's not using clean vocals the entire time. He's distorting it.
Sure.
But yeah, this goes back to more of the second law, kind of like the Resistance age, of their albums, which is great. Those were great albums. So yeah, it's just more of a metal vibe with the song.
Gotcha.
And this is where we kind of get into the metal sound, the more breakdowning sound. This is where Matt Bellamy's son Bean is into really he's into metal. So the way that they tease this song is Matt Bellamy actually posted a video of his son in his car headbanging to this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and his son's still pretty young. He's still a youngin', but he's into metal. So obviously, if his son's into metal, he's probably gonna want to make more metal sounding songs.
Sure.
So, yeah, this is where it kind of gets a little bit crazy because you hear Matt Bellamy doing something that he doesn't really do that much. Yeah, you got that down tuning. And that's screaming, guys. Matt Bellamy really doesn't scream that much. Such a great song.
So I'm confused by it. Not by the song. The song is actually pretty clear to me.
By the music video?
I'm confused by the music video. Yeah, because essentially what we have is we have a first-person perspective. I will never back down. I'll never see the same. I'll never... basically someone who is downtrodden being put upon by some external force.
Yeah.
And the end verse is, won't stand down, I'm growing stronger, won't stand down, I'm owned no longer, won't stand down, you've used me for too long, now die alone.
Yeah.
The thing that's confusing to me is that in the narrative, we've got this puppet master who's controlling all the drones.
That starts assimilating into them.
Well, no, we've got a rising upward, which is kind of an apotheosis.
Yeah.
So basically, when something takes the form of like ascends beyond the thing below it and becomes like a god.
A godlike figure.
Right. So we have the apotheosis, but that doesn't match that verse.
Right.
Because this person is not downtrodden. This person has been downtrodden on other people.
Yeah.
Has been trotting on all those drones.
So it kind of harkens back to like the oppressed becomes the oppressor, but then, who's the oppressed when the oppressor is the one doing everything?
I guess, my question is, who was controlling this one?
Yeah.
Right? We had people wheeling this one up and jacking them in, like in Neuromancer or Matrix at the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe Muse will put out another video about it.
I don't know. I'm going to have to watch this like 40 more times, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, this was awesome. I'm glad I waited to do this one with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to I mean, I like Muse, just, musically, lyrically, music video wise. Like, I always like showing people that, especially if they've never listened to them before.
Well, and like I said, I was blown away by the fact that Muse has been around since the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And I could not name a song by them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. And, we talked about this. Maybe it's because of the radio stations, what they programmed, or I don't know. But, man, I'm glad I watched this one. So. Yeah. Well, folks, let us know what you think in the comments. What is your interpretation of this video? Because I am flummoxed by it. To be honest with you, I need to watch it again like 40 more times.
Yeah.
But leave us your comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And take care of yourselves, folks. And we'll see you soon.